Welcome to the Kuti Heritage Museum. This
you.
used to be the residence of the Reverend Israel Ransome Kuti and his wife, the parents of Fela Kuti and Abeokuta. We have brief history on the two of them written out. Let me just start with Israel. Reverend Israel Ransome Kuti was born April 30, 1891 in Abeokuta of the state to Reverend Josiah Jesse Ransome Kuti and Bertha Annie Olubi. Israel's dad was an Anglican minister, a teacher, a musician, and a district judge. He started his secondary school in Lagos Grammar School, but when Abeokuta Grammar School was founded in 1908, he moved to Abeokuta, and that's where he finished secondary school. From there, he went to Afrobeat College in Sierra Leone to further his studies and came back in 1916 to begin his teaching career in Abeokuta Grammar School. Subsequently, he became the first black headmaster of Abeokuta Grammar School. By 1931, the Nigerian Union of Teachers was founded and he was the pioneer president from 1931 to he retired in 1954. He died shortly after that, April 6, 1955, compulsory cancer right here in his home, and the Kuti Hall, University of Ibadan, was named in his memory. Funmilayo was born to the Thomas family in 1900, also in Abeokuta. She attended Abeokuta Grammar School in 1914, being the first female student to be admitted, which was where they met. He was a head boy when she was a fresher. By 1919, she followed her studies in England and came back in 1922. But the racism she witnessed while over there made her stop use of her Christian names, Francis and Abigail, as well as stop wearing Western type clothing. She got married to Israel on the 20th of January 1925, and their union was blessed with 4 children. 3 of them will later go on to play significant roles in the history and development of Nigeria. By 1944, she founded Abeokuta Ladies Club, which later became the Abeokuta Women's Union. It was a platform for the defense of women's social, political, and economic rights. The women back then were being, the market women back then were being overtaxed by the royal fathers for the colonial masters, which was things she fought against, as well as the right for women to be able to vote and other such rights. By 1946, she was the only female member of Nigeria's pre-independence delegation to the United Kingdom that went to negotiate for Nigeria's constitution. She died in 1978 from injuries she incurred after she was pushed from the first floor of her son's house in Lagos by unknown soldiers. She was also the first woman in Nigeria to drive a car. So, brief history.
Go there.
Just point of correction.
Yes, sir.
Colonial ruler, not colonial master.
Colonial rulers. Thank you for that.
Yes.
What's more, you know this is the house that they gave us all the children. Yes.
Okay.
No, just I want you to tell me about the
You can you can ask questions.
The house itself is about 100 years, holding 100 years now. It was built in the late early 50s. Late 40s. So here's the Ransome Kuti family tree. Like I mentioned earlier, Israel is the son of Reverend Josiah Jesse Ransome Kuti, popularly called JJ. Also, the son was the singing minister. Although he was an Anglican minister, he focused solely on music, translation of hymns from English to Yoruba, and compositions of music. His son followed in his footsteps exactly, becoming an Anglican minister, a teacher, and a musician also. Married from Funmilayo was then a teacher, and their union was blessed with 4 children: Olikuye, Fela, and Abeokuta.
I've never heard of Lulu.
Most people never heard about them until they come here. She's the first child.
Exactly. So she's the first child.
First child.
So tell me something about
She
Lulu.
was a nurse.
I know the other one.
She was a nurse and she was homely. She was like their mother.
Okay.
Because, like you know what I'm saying, that she was not running at the backstage for anybody, especially Fela. Fela was her favorite back then. But, so she lived her life quietly and she was actually the last to die out of all of them. Yes, this is their birth and death dates.
Okay.
Fela died first in 1997. Olikuye died in 2003. Therefore, 2006. She died in 2010.
And you see, most people, we have never heard of Lulu.
Yeah.
Lulu. It's the boy that we
Yeah,
have.
ones that were
We know doctor, he was doctor. Well, they're both professors, those are both doctors.
doctors. He was supposed to be a doctor actually too.
Yeah.
This is a family picture taken under the bamboo tree that is actually still in the compound. Reverend Israel coming, Olikuye, Fela, Abeokuta.
So did Lulu marry? Oh yeah,
Yes.
Francis Yomi.
Francis Ayomi. She married Okudipe.
Okay.
She married who?
Okudipe.
Ogunlipe. That's mom's, my mother's.
From Shagamu, where they
I think it was military. That's
Okay, because
Yeah.
our family, my mom's side is Ogundipe.
Maybe. It was then.
Yeah.
And she didn't remarry, she only married once.
And those are her 2 children.
And Francis Kuboye died 1997, same year with Fela.
Okay.
She was also a musician back then, a dentist.
Okay.
And Yomi, what was Yomi?
But he was a musician, also he's still alive and based in the US.
Okay.
Very much alive. Here is Israel and his dad, when they are both actively serving ministers in the Anglican Communion. Between them, they translated so many hymns and composed so many songs, but this is their most famous composition. This is their band. They have not been to Olumo yet.
We've been there.
Let me just sing it then.
Lórí
òkè àti pẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀, ibẹ̀ la gbé nínú sí o, ibẹ̀ la gbé tọ́ mi dàgbà o, ilẹ̀ òmìnira. Èmi ò fa Abeokuta ṣògo, n ó dúró lórí Olúmọ, máa yọ̀ lórúkọ Ẹ̀gbá o, èmi ọmọ Lísàbí, máa yọ̀ lórí Olúmọ, máa yọ̀ lórí Olúmọ. The original song was written by JJ. But when Israel was a black headmaster in Abeokuta Grammar School, he rearranged the song to be the school's anthem.
Okay.
So that's how this particular song is more popular than the rest of their songs. They had a lot of songs too back then that people sing now and don't know that belong to them. This family has been giving us back-to-back hits for 5 generations. This is the Abeokuta Grammar School original building. It's now back to Anglican Communion. It's now a like Calder School of Postgraduate Theological Studies. And Abeokuta Grammar School have moved to their permanent site at Idiaba. We listed a couple of people that went to Abeokuta Grammar School during that era. Notably, there is Wole Shoyinka being a cousin to this house. Wole Shoyinka's mom is Israel's younger sister.
Okay.
So we're a direct cousin. And we have Obadeshi who was the late Oni of Ife. Pictures of Israel.
Tunde Kelly, the Nollywood
producer.
director,
Yes.
director of the popular.
Okay.
This is Fela received an honorary doctorate in law from that of Ibadan in 1968. Not a small feat. And Israel as the pioneer president of the Nigerian Union of Teachers. So education and enlightenment has always been a strong suit in the family, and they actually passed it down to their children. Here we have more pictures. Let's move on. Here we have the many faces of Funlaira. She was an extrovert. She was everywhere. And she had an impact in everywhere she went to. He was basically triangular. Homeschool church. Nothing much more in between. You can't find him in another place. And this is Olushoyinka's mother. Israel's younger sister. So let's move on. The next part of the talk is where we dedicated to newspaper excerpts from way back then. There are mentions in the newspapers, their opinions and whatnot. That is about his death. This is his presidential address as the Nigerian Union of Teachers president in 1936. That is Daily Times of 1955. That's about his death. This is Daily Times of December 31st, 1947. The headline is Protestant Ministers Defend Rebel Kuti. Christian leaders not responsible for Abeokuta agitation. It was really the market women's protests, and somehow they found a way to blame Reverend Kuti for the market women's protests. I really don't understand it. It took other ministers to stand up to defend him. Did you see him in any of the protests and things like that? But by far, this is my favorite. West African pilot of May 12, 1945, Saturday. Reverend Kuti returns to Nigeria after serving the Elliott Commission. The Elliott Commission was inaugurated to look into Nigeria's claims for a constitution, and it was on the panel that was supposed to vet it. This was his conclusion of it. Reverend Kuti returns home, says the new constitution is a graceful collection of loopholes. So he was actually an activist himself. But you have a question, sir?
No, I was going to say Daily Times.
Yeah.
Of the journalist.
Which year, sir?
Before it closed down.
Okay.
This is one of
Did
the-
ever close down?
Right?
Jesus Christ, sir?
This is one of the pioneering.
Yes. This is 1955. This is
No,
David
not
Tennyson.
1954.
This is 1947.
Way
Many
after
times.
that. This is way above.
1 penny.
But this is the first time I've seen this old. I think,
Newspaper.
yeah, on Daily Times.
This was colonial era now.
Yeah.
You should take a picture of it.
Before independence.
Yes. 1947. We are still talking about constitution itself.
You know, take that out.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Amazing.
Funmilayo was the complete opposite of him. He was tactful with words. He knew what he would deliver his message, but
Yes, sir.
pushing,
Yeah.
that he won't be offended.
Yeah.
She didn't mind offending anybody.
Yeah.
Direct quote from her. As for the charges against me, I'm unconcerned. I'm beyond the obtaining blind morality, so I'm beyond caring. Unquote. In the statement, that is who Funmilayo was.
That's a brilliant
That's
statement.
the kind of spirit, and it's Fela that took the whole spirit from her. What Fela is Fumilayo's child, blood and everything. All the things that Fela did is from her. The only thing he gave from his father is the music, the genre of music from
So the movie. Did you watch the movie of?
Fumilayo.
I haven't seen it. I don't know who is streaming it. Where?
You can watch it on Netflix. It's on.
Oh, it's on Netflix.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Good.
The
We
film.
use this place too.
Oh yeah.
They use
They use
this
this
as
film
the location of the film. This is the market women's protest in front of the Alakis Palace back then. They kept protesting, yet the Egba Council affirms that decision that taxation of women must continue daily times. It escalated to the point that women came out naked and marched to his palace, which was a taboo. He could not set eyes on other naked women that is not his wife. So he had to leave Abeokuta and his palace for quite some time. Seriously, this was the Alaki at the time, so Aladako Ademola. And this particular interview was done in 1959 after the whole issue had completely been quelled. Just this beginning. At 58, Mrs. Ransome Kuti is a big problem for the government of the Nigerian Federation, the powerful Alaki of Abeokuta, and all those who still think that a woman's place is in the kitchen. That's the beginning of the story. The man also actually had to say his own that I could not hate Mrs. Ransome Kuti then, and cannot hate her now, although she still caused me a lot of trouble. So there was respect. She was a woman leader. During her period, there was no Iyaloja, which was a sought after post under these colonial times, traditional things, because she was the one doing all the work of the Iyaloja is supposed to do, and she refused to collect the chieftaincy.
Is that Richard Smith? Is that Smith from Rhodesia? Ian Smith or whatever. This one. That looks like Smith from Rhodesia, doesn't it?
It looks like I don't think you smiling at.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so here is a picture of market Abeokuta Women's Union formation. At our Bamata, she went. This is Kushi's passport. She was a firebrand. Wherever she went, women were sensitized.
Yeah.
People changed, and governments noticed. So they started. His son became Nigeria's first Minister of Justice, Sir Adetokunbo Ademola. So gradually, they systematically withdrew her from politics, active politics. She wasn't given posts. She wasn't given, she just faced her feminism fully. She wasn't looking for money in politics. So why? So I knew that Fela was seeing all these things happening, and from there he had resolved that the government is fake. He knew so he started his own agitations, and by 1977 he sang Zombie.
Yeah, that's the song where
He sang Zombie.
I said that I was talking to Em about what happened at Kalakuta Republic when the army went in, and she said that, well, aren't the soldiers? You said, shouldn't they be proud of him and protect him? And I said, well, he sang a song called Zombie, and
Coincidentally, Nigeria hosted FESPAC, that is Festival of Arts and Culture, in 1977. He was supposed to perform there also, but he released Zombie and did not go to. So Immediately the first ceremonies was over, unknown soldiers raided his house.
Yeah, I was here. We were in Mushin then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were here. We were
I went to the first time.
Yeah, we were in Mushin then. We lived in Isolo.
Yeah, wow. So, at the end of the day, during the scuffle, she was pushed from the first floor of his house.
Yeah.
She was 77 years old at the time, but she didn't die immediately.
No.
She died about 8 months later.
Yeah.
This is one of the last interviews she granted. You can see her leg in the cast.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
At 77.
Yeah, disgusting.
You
They
don't get back into those
burned
things.
down the
You
place.
can never do now.
No.
So, and eventually she died
The show was
Yeah.
taken in consideration.
upstairs.
Yeah. Okay.
After she died, government wanted to damage control.
Yeah.
Freedom fight. Oh,
Yeah.
the family, of course, refused.
You are the
That if
one
you
who
cannot
killed.
produce your non-soldiers, there's no story.
Yeah.
During one of their protests, they actually carried the coffin to Dodan Barracks and dropped it in front of the gates.
Yeah.
Obasanjo was the head of state at the time. He was staying at Dodan Barracks. So, on the day of the burial, there were 2 tombs. One by the government, and I guess they buried that coffin there. Well, she was buried in a private ceremony in the St. John's Church just across the road, and she's currently buried at the back of the church, which was where her husband was first buried in 1955. So she's buried on top of him at St. John's Church. The funeral procession had addressing the market women to sit down. She tried. Downstairs was more public than private. Upstairs is actually where they stay. So let's go upstairs. Downstairs is to host fellowships, meetings, teachings, and like a vicary teacher. The house is purely Victorian. It is wood and stones. The house is made of wood and stones. This is Olayo's study.
So big,
Okay.
bright, on the main road.
All the windows are closed though,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
of dust.
Yeah.
And this is the family's
Living room.
visiting area. This picture was taken here.
All right.
Okay.
Mama,
Mama's study.
That man is so strong, isn't it?
Yeah. You can't find wood like this anymore.
No, very
You
strong.
can't find it.
We could make a bed out of that as well.
This is the visiting area. Reverend Kuti's room. Wall mirror. I always share the joke. Reverend wall mirror. Once his collar is straight,
Yeah.
the rest, he doesn't care about much more. Once the collar is straight, we had to re-leather it. It's the same furniture, but we had to re-leather it during the restoration. Across the hall is Fumilayo's room. This is where the family learns music. Like actually 5 generations of music now. Reverend Jesse to Reverend Israel, Israel to Fela, Fela to Femi, Femi to Madi. That is 5 generations of music.
So money is using it as well.
So, no. It's Fela and Unikoya are those ones. But in their house now, I'm sure you will find a keyboard. He's also training his children. This is Fumilayo's room. You notice that Baba uses wall mirror, Mama uses dressing table. Women only will understand that why will you be using a wall mirror?
That's
Dressing
right,
table, you
face.
Sit down and carry your drawers.
Yep, exactly.
Who walks?
That's nice
family
stuff. It's
living
different, isn't it?
Yep.
Dining and sitting.
What is a good house?
It is.
I'm bearing in mind how old it is.
I
Yeah.
have been looking for this type of chair to do.
Really?
I see
The
this
carpenters
type.
in my area, they don't know how to do it.
Yeah,
see
these are
the
the
wood.
old.
The wood is very
itself,
strong.
The wood itself has done the work.
Exactly, the wood itself has done the work.
that is it.
But
See
the carpenters, they haven't got any idea of how.
To restore.
Baba uses reclining lounge seats to watch TV. How soft can it be? You just,
Yeah.
my joke. This TV is the remote will be your last child.
Yeah.
They just even is in the room. Watching the station.
And they make settees like that again now.
Yeah.
Chairs like that as well now.
Yeah, they started making it back.
Yeah, long time. It was classic then.
Moving on. This is one of the rooms upstairs.
Just next to you. Oh, that's the stove. The stove.
Top like is pantry.
Pantry, yeah.
The kitchen.
Kitchen.
Bathroom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing more.
That was the kitchen.
Bathroom.
I didn't have much in the kitchen do that. Microwave, you know. The top is quite big though, isn't it?
Okay. That is quite posh bath.
Yeah, it's quite big as well, isn't it?
Most flat will be outside.
And the sink is
Yeah, with a bucket.
It's the CCTV.
and the sink is what they're making now. as
Our
well.
security CCTV
Okay.
cameras. So,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
Yeah, just I'm saying the sink is what they're making now.
Yeah.
People want to buy those.
Those.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And not the
The
new
small
ones. Yeah.
Very major part of the house. You never do it like that. You can see the house is basically fully stones, granite stones, with wood as the decking.
Is that the tree where that picture was taken?
This one.
Oh, this one. Okay. Yeah. So that tree is old.
You know, when you can see the house, this is over 80 years or
Yeah.
90. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's awesome. Let's go. This is the second generation. Here we talk about the 4 children that are giving back in the house.
Yeah.
Go this way.
Okay.
It's alright.
Yeah, just leave it there.
Alright.
They'll come.
Let's go in.
Okay.
We start off here
Yeah.
with UNESCO's tribute to Funmilayo. UNESCO made a tribute to Funmilayo in a series of women in African history. It was published in 2014. Basically, her story in animation so that children can get to really understand who she was and what she did. Because all they have been taught or are allowed to know is the first woman to drive a car. That's all. It's a disservice because she didn't fight
Totally.
or
Yeah.
go to jail to drive a car. She
No,
fought for
exactly.
people's rights. So they deserve to know the truth. So once we have children here, I make sure they go through everything and ask another person, do you see her driving a car? And you understand she's not, although yes, she's the first woman to drive a car, but that to me is not an achievement compared to what she actually did.
Voice is quicker.
Many times.
One voice.
Yeah. Exactly. The time, the voice.
This is NCNC time. You see, this constitution divides us even more. One prod from the skinniest of fingers and we will fall.
I used
No.
to teach A-level politics, and we looked at all the constitutions that the UK were giving us. And the reason they wanted to divide and rule, and because they knew that the North, in those days, voted as a bloc, they made sure that it was in democracy, knowing that the North will always win, because the South is not the South. The South is North, East, West, and then
But the north is north.
so they will always be controlling Nigeria. They know what they were doing.
It's deliberate.
They know.
Yeah.
They plan well.
We have the second generation itself. The 4 children that were given birth to in this house. Dolu was the first born. She was a nurse. She studied nursing in the UK, came back to join the State Ministry of Health, and retired as a matron at Thailand maternity. After which she moved back to Abeokuta and stayed there until her death in 2010. She had 2 children. Francis Kubuye, who was a musician and a dentist, she died from cancer in 1997. But Yomi is alive and based in the US. Onikoye is the next child. He was a medical doctor. He was Nigeria's first professor of pediatrics. He was a minister of health for over 8 years. He was a WHO consultant. He was the founder of Nigeria's primary health center. He started everything concerning healthcare in Nigeria and even West Africa. He was a
Well,
trailblazer.
even Africa, a lot of African countries are copying Nigerian Prime Minister was and makes it work better than our own. And it is in that we are better.
That was the 1st of June 2003. This is him as Minister of Health under Ibrahim Babangida. Olufela Anikulapo is the third child. You will notice that he's the only one that is not Ransome.
Yeah.
He dropped the Ransome name, saying that Ransome was a slave name that was given to his great grandfather. He was born a free man. There was no reason for him to be bearing the slave name. He called it colonial mentality. He actually sang the song. That's end. Now, like everybody else in the family, once you finish secondary school, you go abroad to further your studies. He sat for the medical school's entrance examination and passed. And upon getting to the UK, he changed to music without consulting anybody. Very, very annoyed. But he was his mother's child, you know, because of her. So she found a way to bring him work. He came back in 1963, by that time his life was already late, and joined Western Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation as an on-air personality, while he created the band called the Kola Lobitos. This is pictures of the Kola Lobitos era. Because Kola Lobitos was more of a jazz highlight fusion of but as he grew, the activism within him and the conviction made him to create the genre called Afrobeat. When he added the deep conga drum and the second bass
and then his wife, his founder,
BCD Rock.
They weren't married. They weren't married. They were from America.
She catalyzed it with the black freedom movement. That is Malcolm X stories and all those kind of people. So they shared a lot of literature with him back then that really inspired him.
No beating between many love.
Yes, it was pure love now. Things. So when he created the Afrobeat, he became a full activist. Called it Fela Kuti, later Egypt 80. He died on the 2nd of August 1997 as a legend. This is him with Paul McCartney.
Okay.
Him, his wife, Remy, his first wife, Remy, his mother, and his first two children, Yemi, Femi, and Shola. Shola is 8 now.
What was Shola into?
She died very early. I think it's
Or she? Or is it she or is it she?
This is Shola.
Okay.
I'll show you a picture of her just before she died. But let's finish here. Beko is the last child. Funny thing about his name. Beko Larry. He was born 1940. By 1940, Larry was the first reckoned with in Nigerian politics. So, boom, she's pregnant. People started insinuating things. This Nanda Zipe that went to Cameroon. She is her one person that was here. You can't be Reverend. Reverend is the church. When the face, she has been able for how long? Fortunately, when she finally gave birth, there's no difference between all of them. The genes is pure and true. No need for DNA. Hence his name, Bekolari. He also was a medical doctor. He stopped practicing medicine also in 1977 after the soldiers wage. He had a clinic in the Kalakuta Empire also that was burnt to the ground by the same soldiers. From there, he faced activism fully. I founded the campaign for democracy, campaigning for defense of human rights. Nadepo, just name it, all civil active groups majorly played a strong part in it before his death. He died on the 10th of February 2006. So we have the 4 children. Here, then pictures of the family, different events and times back then. Fela and Berko were inseparable from childhood. They were inseparable from childhood. That's how they grew. The elder brother, on the other hand, blood, you can't pick a family. I'm sure if you could, you will go and pick another family. Yeah, because that is Yeni, Fela's first child. This is Yeni, Fela's first child. This is Nike, Berko's first child.
Okay.
This is Shewan Mushal, Fela's last children.
Olipoye, Professor wife.
Yes, Sonia.
Okay.
Yes, and their first son.
Okay.
Got 2. That's Fela's graduation from Abeokuta Primary School. Fela was a fine boy. It was
Always been a fine boy.
he graduated from Dublin Music School. He returned to Abeokuta in 1963 with his first wife, Remy, and his first two children. His elder brother is his son, his elder sister is her daughter. This is the day he married 27 women. His backup singers and dancers, all of them. Have you
Married
Yeah,
all of them?
yeah.
So what happened to his first wife?
She went back to France immediately.
Okay, so after Sandra, he then married his first wife.
No, by the time he married his first wife, he was in Nicola Lipito's face.
Okay.
It was when he was changing from Nicola Lipito's face into the fella we know as Remy left.
Okay, but Remy is the mother of.
Femi.
Okay. Since then, after that, he married.
And he married 27.
Yeah, no, but he didn't have
He
another wife.
didn't have
Yeah,
that, but
yeah,
people
he
give back
later
to them.
married the.
They gave back to like this.
Yeah,
this,
yeah, I have
this is
this,
this is Shewo's mother. This is Montreal's mother. I believe we are part of the 27. But here is Mome's mother, and this is Shaliba's mother. So each one else gave back to just one child each. 4 women, 1 child each, and the first one 3. One is 3. So we have 6 children alive. Let's go into the struggle. Yes, struggle. Fela in the newspapers. In handcuffs, broken head, broken hand, broken leg. It's only mouth they didn't break. And at the back of the original Kalakuta. His press conference, his courts, this was the NDLA Bamai trials. His mother always 100% behind him. His lawyer back then was Tunji Bracelet. This is a Beckman's movement. The only difference between them is that he didn't sing. He did his own demonstrations in the old fashion with placards, tire blocking of road. Fela didn't have time for that. He just yap music. You come and look for him.
Come across the music, isn't it?
Just yap you come and look for him by yourself.
Family album.
Yeah, campaign for democracy. While the elder brother is on UNICEF's executive board. WHO consultant, Minister of Health, General Chairman of the UNESCO, Rotary Chairman. Come back to the only picture, you can find all 3 of them in the protest. This is the day they carried the coffin to the free. Yes. This is the day they carried the coffin to the land barracks. Now they don't deserve the brutality. So that is their movements. We thank God for what they have done in the event of Nigeria. What is left now is the 3rd generation, then the last car that Fumilayo drove. Here, basically we have Fela's children, because the rest have asked for privacy. This is Fela's first child, Yeni. Then we have Femi. After Femi is Shola. I told you she's late. After Shola is Kunle. Kunle is the person in charge of Fela's house in Lagos now. It's now a museum, so that's where he is. Then we have Shalewa, she's a DJ. Before we have Shem as well. You should know who this is now, the mascot at Kalakuta back then. Fela's donkey. We had a donkey at the original building. He named it Buhari in 1976.
Oh, he named Buhari. So that's no wonder
He was
from we don't like him.
Femi at Fela's lying in state. Excuse me. This is the day Fela was buried. She will not get that thing. Yenny, when she was still dancing. They get into the family business. I said they made a family business.
Still a family business.
Femi and his father.
The
African shrine at
African shrine.
Yes.
When do they hold it?
Where are we going?
Federal civil service. Okay, federal civil service. That's the sticker they use.
That's why I was saying that. And this was erected in 2019 when the museum was open. The statue of Reverend Kuti and his wife with a plaque from the government that actually says what I saw. This museum commemorates the history of a family that individually and collectively have all given so much to the state, our country, Nigeria, and the world. It stands as a testament to the impact of character and legacy. That's the second part. Yes. Because these people never knew how to the law was done. They just used the way they thought was right.
Yeah.
Now people come from the world at their heart. So, I'm sure it can still happen. Just happen.